President Joe Biden just signed into law a $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill, which will bring financial relief to many Americans through tax breaks or direct payments in the form of stimulus checks. And in this video, we're going to talk about who's eligible to receive those checks, and if you're in a divorce, who will get the stimulus check, and what to do if your ex takes your stimulus check and how to get that back. Hi, my name is Sean Palmer with the Palmer Law Firm, and I've been practicing family law exclusively for the past 19 years, and I'm in the Houston, Galveston metro area. And with the Senate on Saturday and then the House on Wednesday approving the American Rescue Plan, the legislation moved to the White House today. Joe Biden has signed it into law, and that's a few days before the March 14th cutoff date for unemployment benefits. So it's very timely. When your check might arrive, however, if you're qualified for it, is a little bit more complicated. The expectation is that it will be very soon, starting at least mid-March for some groups. The cutoff for this stimulus check has been set out by Congress. Unlike the other stimulus checks where everybody got some money if you qualified, or if you applied, or if you somehow got it, the third stimulus check, however, has a financial cutoff point. So your maximum amount of benefit would be $1,400 per person, and that excludes, however, families at the highest income levels. So an individual with an adjusted gross income of $80,000 would hit the payment cutoff, and then an individual claiming head of household can earn up to $120,000 as if you have a dependent, and a couple filing jointly with an adjusted gross income of $160,000 would be reaching that cutoff point. Now, if you are going through a divorce and you're still in the process of going through the divorce, here's some information you might be interested in figuring out what's going to happen with that money. First of all, you have to understand that there's an interplay between the federal rules and the state law. Now, under state law, if you're still married, if you haven't finalized your divorce, you still are generating community assets, and the stimulus check would probably be considered community assets. So if you receive a check because you qualify for it, then that is a community asset. Now, it would be in everybody's best interest, obviously, to file taxes so that you will get the greatest return on if you qualify for the stimulus check. The year of your divorce, you usually get the option of either filing jointly or filing separately, and hopefully you would be able to come together with terms of your soon-to-be ex-spouse and figure out a way for that money, for you to get the best return, whether you file one way or the other. Of course, you're going to want to contact a tax professional to figure that out. But what we can say is that until you're divorced, it is community funds. So you would have to figure out how to divide that. Now, if you are pre-filing or you haven't gotten any temporary orders in place, I highly recommend that you put a provision in your temporary orders on how that money is going to be dispersed. Either it's going to be held until the divorce is finalized and just put into the pot as part of the community assets, or you're going to immediately dispose of it in some way. And so you need to talk to your lawyer about what's going to happen with that stimulus check and whether or not you need to have that in your temporary orders. Now, if you're approaching final orders and the check comes in, then again, it's still an asset until the day your divorce decree is signed, until you're not married anymore. It's community assets. So you're going to create a little bit of a problem if you get that asset there and you're running right up against your divorce date. So you, word to the wise, you're going to want to put something in your divorce decree about the disposition of that money. You'll need to talk to your lawyer about that. Because again, it's all community funds until you're not married anymore. Now, there might be an occasion where your spouse has just run off with the check and didn't give you any credit for it. So what would you do in that instance? Well, the IRS itself doesn't have any provisions to deal with that, but you're going to want to probably bring that up on to the judge's attention, or mention that to your, certainly mention it to your lawyer so that he can account for that. Because if it's a joint amount, we're not talking small change. It's several $1,000s. So if you find yourself in a situation where your spouse has either cashed the check and the money's not accountable, or you don't know what has happened to the check, I highly recommend that you document everything. Now, you can contact the IRS and get a refund trace on the check to see what happened with it. And perhaps you can also, if your spouse has done some shenanigans and the check is just gone, you can perhaps get a replacement check from the IRS. But if you want to find out what happened to the check, if it has just disappeared, you'll need to file a Form 3911. I'll leave a link to that in the comments section, and you can try to find what's happened. But definitely, work with your attorney to try to get that money accounted for. If you're a dependent, if you're a parent of a dependent and you no longer are living with the other parent, or if you never live with them, or if you're going through divorce or something where the parents are living in two households, our next video, we're going to talk about the additional amounts that you're going to get for dependents, whether you qualify for that, and the tax credits that are also offered as part of this stimulus package. We'll talk about who can get that, and if you're divorcing, where that tax credit can go and where that stimulus check would go. So you might want to watch that for the next one. Now, we've also on our website have put a stimulus check calculator so you can have an idea of whether you're going to be eligible, and if so, how much for this stimulus check. Just visit our website, which I have in the bottom here, and go ahead and visit there, and we have that calculator for you. Well, that's what we have for you today. My name is Sean Palmer with the Palmer Law Firm, where we can't protect your heart, but we can protect your rights. Thank you.